Okay, so let's talk about time boxing or flow and choosing alternate practices. And here we're going to learn how basically you can do slight tailoring that's straightforward that makes a big difference. You know, in particular, should we use time boxing or flow? This shouldn't be predetermined. You've got to look at that. More detailed tailoring is still possible. Okay. So one of the techniques I suggest you use, and you know, I have a Miro board for this, but you could kind of make your own. It's really these issues, and these are in my book. Whatever way your team starts, be clear, you can move forward. In other words, it doesn't have to be this is the only way you do things. So you can move forward and change as appropriate, but you want to look to see, should I use time boxing like sprints and scrum, or should I use flow like Kanban does? And I'm going to give you a series of questions that help guide you in this determination. It's not like, oh, you know, fill it out and then it tells you what to do. This is a misunderstanding of the value of templates. And I'm going to talk about templates a little more at the end, rather at the next session. And that templates are there to trigger things and for you to look at so you can make the decision and not forget things. So when I show you the board, I'm not saying this determines it for you. In fact, sometimes the questions are, can the team look ahead a week or so on what needs to be built? The answer normally is, well, no, it can't. Then you say, well, you can't do time boxing. But you should also ask, well, maybe no, but maybe I can change that. So it brings up the issues. So this is a picture. This is a picture of, there's a screenshot of a picture of one of the Miro boards I use to help make this decision. Now, it's a collaborating tool. It's on Miro. It could be Miro. It could be anything. This one's pretty simple. And it's a little bit of a decision process. Can the team look ahead a week or so? If you're in maintenance, you probably can't do time boxing, so you're going to do flow. Are you building a new product using MVPs where you have an autonomous team and the customers will meet with you on demand? Well, actually, MVPs require flow. You do a little bit, you change, do a little bit, you change. You can't do all this analysis out 2 weeks because you might want to respond faster. Now, if your MVPs are going to be 2 weeks or more, then go ahead. You can. But see, that's what I meant. You have we'll meet you with you on demand, and it can be quicker than 2 weeks. You don't want 1 week, 2 weeks slowing you down in getting feedback. So then, okay, go to flow. Do we need to integrate with other teams? Well, time boxing may be the way to go then, because if you're integrating with other teams, they need to know where you are. That's not an absolute. There are ways to work around this. If you've got CI/CD and you don't have branching and stuff like that. But if you're starting, this is a team starting, what am I going to do? Probably if you need to integrate time boxings there. Now that gets some people making decisions. Otherwise, got to use a decision table. Here's the decision table. And these are just factors. And in fact, this is an example of how we do things too. I did not start with these 8. It happened with using them, I kept adjusting them. So if people are more familiar with Scrum than Kanban, what we do is we literally move the sticky over there. In fact, I'm going to stop something here. Oh, what is this? This is the Miro board. I just had it ready up there, so it's not the screenshot anymore. So what we do is we say, we talk to each other and we say, well, let's see where we should put that there. And let's see, would time boxing be an easier transition? Yeah, maybe it would. Does releases typically take more? You know, we don't really know, so it's not definitive. Will time boxing making it easier to focus? No, we can focus on the work. So we talk to each other, and I'm not going to go through each of these, but you can read them. You get the idea, you know, and you get the idea of what it is. And now you talk about this. You got these 8 factors, and you decide, okay, well, we're going to do this. And that's basically what I'm talking about. That this guides you in making a decision. It doesn't make the decision for you. You know, you might actually, I've never seen this, but I guess it's possible you'd come up with something like this and people say, yeah, I know it says we should do time boxing, but we want to try flow. That'd be okay. It's the idea of guiding, thinking of these things, having them be present for you. Okay, so let's come back to the presentation slides. By the way, that's a slide, that's a Miro board you get when you're in the Amplio Development Masterclass. We give these out as we build them. There are quite a few, it's on the website. Okay, that's basically it. You figure that out. Now I wanted to give one other example. What happens if I have another practice I'm considering? In fact, you could actually use this to do time boxing or flow. but I made a special case with time boxing or flow because it happens so much. In other words, there's somebody says, you know, they just make a change, a perspective change to a practice. Like, are we going to use MBIs? Are we going to use focus on features, whatever? Well, these 10 questions actually are just statements. I don't have the slide to show it here, but if you pulled up the factors for effective value streams, these are the 10 things that I just took them and I made them questions for this particular thing. Okay. And that's actually cool. In fact, let me just slide this up here. So you can see, have we identified our key stakeholders? And I just took these and I brought it to the context of making a decision. So if you haven't watched that video of factors for effective value streams, these are just the same things, but based on making a decision. What's neat is we don't have to be immutable. We can say we're going to change something because it follows the science that we've learned and decided on. Time boxing and flow aren't universal practices. It's usually easy, maybe the wrong word. It's straightforward is a better thing. Have this be a team decision. So this isn't like the Scrum Master figures this out. This is something like we just all figure that out together.